functional unit of the urinary system is this, I'll get it, the nephron, not the neuron, the nephron, the amazing nephron. This is not a cell, okay? This is a collection of cells. This is still a microscopic structure, but it's about the same size as a capillary bed, okay? So we have each part of the nephron has a different function. And as we proceed through our unit together on this, on the urinary system, we're going to talk through each of these sections as we go, right? So today's just the introduction. The whole thing starts with this guy up here. This is the renal corpuscle. The renal corpuscle is essentially a group of capillaries called the glomerulus, that's in here, surrounded by a capsule that has one way out, all right? So we call that Bowman's capsule or the glomerular capsule. And the one way out for fluid is into the rest of the tubules of the nephron. So specifically, fluid leaves the blood at the glomerulus, enters the capsule, and then starts the journey through the nephron at the proximal convoluted tubule, all right? Gets its name from its shape. It's proximal, it's close to the glomerulus, and it's convoluted, it's windy. So it's a proximal convoluted tubule. Next stop after that is the nephron loop. The nephron loop goes down and then back up. There's a descending limb and an ascending limb. The two limbs behave differently. And we'll talk about what happens down here as we go. The nephron loop is primarily responsible for urine concentration. In other words, taking dilute urine and making it concentrated urine. Now, why on earth would we want to do that? To save our fluid, right? Remember, every ml of free water that's lost in the urine, you have to put back in your mouth to stay in fluid balance, right? So if the nephron loop didn't exist, we would be like fish. We would make lots of urine that didn't have very much solute in it. Makes perfect sense if you're a fish because you're swimming around in water, right? You got plenty of access to water. Doesn't make so much sense if you're a desert mouse, right? So a desert mouse has a very strong urine concentration system. They don't even really pee liquid. It's like this gel, right? Because they don't lose any water in their urine, okay? So that's the nephron loop. It's going to control urine concentration. And frankly, I think is one of the hardest to understand bits of the whole thing. So we're going to do a whole talk on that. Then we're coming back up. Then we hit the distal convoluted tubule. And then from the distal convoluted tubule, we enter into the collecting system. All right? The PCT and the DCT have similar functions, but they are different in when they occur. The proximal convoluted tubule does a lot of obligate reabsorption. In other words, regardless of what the body's needs are, much of what is filtered gets absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule. The DCT is about precision control. So instead of being on all the time, the DCT only does what it needs to do according to the body's needs. All right? Now, this is the overview, as I said. By the time we're done with this unit, you should be able to draw a nephron, label it, and tell me what each part does.